I'm so excited about this moment right now because as soon as I started the candy shop, I was thinking of a way, somehow, a situation where I can get one of my favorite poets in the world to come in the candy shop. And when I tell you this lady made it one of the easiest processes in the world, without any further ado, Tony Award-winning, Emmy Award-winning, and Peabody Award-winning poet, Miss Tamika GeorgiaME Harper. Welcome to the candy shop. How are you, love?
Hey, Kenya, I'm wonderful. Just grateful to be on your show. I'm enjoying it, loving it. My mentee, Kalina, shouting out. And congratulations to all the wonderful, amazing Deltas. I have so many friends who are Deltas, and I appreciate all the work. I've done so many initiatives, so many community projects with Delta Sigma Theta. You would think I was one, and I need to be one honorary as soon as possible, but that's another thing. But I'm just grateful to be here, and thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you in the building. And before we get into the conversation, Delta Sigma Theta awarded you with an amazing situation back in 2008. Could you please elaborate a tad bit on what was the connection with you and Delta Sigma Theta?
Well, what's crazy is I have a friend named Megan Ford, and Megan was like, we have our Kaumba Award, and I want to nominate you. And I was like, oh, he's so sweet, wonderful, and I'm not thinking that really I would necessarily win the award. And so she was like, it's down to you and a few other women. And I was like, okay. And next thing I know, I thought it was a reception for, like, multiple amazing, accomplished women. And just to be in that number, I'm honored. But when I got there, the whole reception was for me. I was the Kaumba winner, or Woman of the Year. And they had this beautiful reception at Spelman College in the Living and Learning Center. And they had, different artists perform for me. Some high school students did a portrait of me. And then the next thing you know, they brought out 4 proclamations from the city of Atlanta, the city of East Point, city of College Park, and Fulton County, declaring May 4th Tamika GeorgiaME Harper Day. So it was just, oh, my God, because I asked God for that. Nobody knew. When you tell God your prayers, you don't really tell people because they'll piss on your dreams. You know what I'm saying? So, for that happened like that, I was just grateful, and that's where I actually started doing my Tamika Festival, because when you got your own day, what do you do with a day? We were going to ride around, eat barbecue, have a caravan or something like that. But, you know what I'm saying, or do what I like to do, read and love and community. So the festival was started, and it's going into its 5th year now. And it's all because of the beautiful ladies of Delta Sigma Theta recognizing the God in me, and I'm just grateful.
That is definitely what's up. I'm so glad to have you in the building. Congratulations on all you've done and all the amazing work that you're going to do. The candy I appreciate you. And what I must say, I think I owe you a check, because I actually won a talent show by reciting the Niggas poem, and that led me to actually becoming the MC for the production company that I work for right now. So thanks to you and just expressing yourself in the manner that you did, it blessed me. So it's a blessing just to have you in the show, and I think your mind is brilliant. Not trying to boost your ego, but just the fact that you're so humble, you rep the West Side to the day you die, and then you're still so amazing as an artist. I just love you, and I'm just honored to have you right here in the candy shop. So thank you once again, Ms. Harper, for blessing me with all your works and for being here today.
Girl, I'm so grateful to you. I'm grateful that God allowed me to do what I asked to do. When I first hit the stage in 98 to do a poem at a open mic, I went on stage, did this poem called Sister to Sister, and, it was my first time on stage as a poet. I recited poetry or done other speakings, but this particular night, my whole job came out. They all supported me, and when I finished, the crowd erupted, and I had paper in hand and the whole nine, and I was just overwhelmed. I went outside, and I just started praising God, and I was like, thank you, Jesus, and a girl came out to me while I was outside and said, I'm going to put some clothes on. And I said, what? She said, I'm going to put some clothes on because of your poem when I go out Friday night. And it was then that I knew I had the power to affect people in a positive way or a negative way. And I asked God, I said, if you allow me to do this, I will spit anywhere and everywhere you say. Just help me get out of Atlanta and take care of my family. And my whole purpose is to inspire, uplift, and motivate my people. period, hands down, point blank. And my people went from being black people to all people, because I'm from Black World. For those who don't know, Black World is Atlanta, Georgia. And
right.
you have to search for a white person back in the day. You wouldn't see white people for 3 weeks unless they was, doing something with, drug dealers or a landlord or something like that. So I my word transcended from being just for black people to people all over the planet, which is such a blessing, getting upliftment. And I'm grateful that you did my work. And I go on YouTube and I see a little white girl doing my work, and I run to people and they're like, I did you as my dissertation in college. And I'm like, that's how I started doing Nikki Giovanni when I was 8 years old. So to have your work not only be, spouted from your mouth, but for other people to love it so much that they say it and they share it, it's just, I'm overwhelmed. I'm honored. It's a blessing, and that's the best part about being a child of God. It's a blessing to be a blessing, because then you're doubly blessed. You feel me?
Right.
So with these words, I'm just grateful. It's a lot of power in it, and I don't take that lightly.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Tamika GeorgiaME Harper right here live in the Candy Shop. Tell a friend to call in, 818-572-2935, or log in online at blogtalkradio.com/touchingneighbor. Now, you started you did your first showcase in 1998. At what point before that day, before that moment, and before that time, did you realize, okay, I'm going to share what I've been doing in the privacy of my own home?
I'm grateful to my friend Felicia Evans, a Spelmanite, and we don't come from two different worlds. I'm a nerd, but I don't come from affluence. You feel me? I come from the hood, which a lot of people have their stigmas on it. But me and her bonded at my job, and I read the poem to her at work. And she was like, you need to say this in front of people. And I was like, I'm not saying this in front of nobody. Everybody going to be judging me. I ain't going to tell you what, because what had happened was I had sex with this dude, and he didn't call me back. And that was the first time that had ever happened to me. I was like, oh, my God. I was devastated. And then he had teeth out to the world. I could have got a hysterectomy dealing with him. I should have never dealt with him. But anyway, so
wow.
So, I shared it, and it has done so much work, and that's what it was. It's like, I knew that these words, would have an impact upon people in a positive way. With niggas, I don't come from a world where every brother ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Every brother I know is amazing. That's because I don't hang around dogs. I don't lie down for them. You know what I'm saying? My doors get open. My trash get took out. And that's even when I'm at the gas station of a man I don't even know. I make them open the door for me. I feel like women are so jaded that they don't allow themselves to be treated like ladies. And wow. I'm not finna have it. That's just point blank. I get the shakes if I got to pick up some trash. That's unladylike. And you know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, but we so, I'm independent, I'm strong. You going to be all of that. But at the same time, you a woman, and ain't nothing wrong being treated like a lady. I love it. And, with full figure potential, I've always been a big girl. I've been over 200 pounds since I was 11 years old, but I never was the miserable big girl. I was a cheerleader. I was captain of my dance squad. I was most popular in high school, and it wasn't because, and it definitely wasn't because I felt like the world owed me something, or I was always being, mistreated. I didn't allow people to mistreat me. You think you're going to join me? You're not finna join me about being big. Oh, I'll go in on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an option. And that's how my life has ran. I've always never worried about a man. I get attention from every man. Men who I don't like big girls. It ain't the big that you see, it's the confidence you see. You know what I'm saying? So, and women need to understand that confidence is the biggest seller, not sex. You don't have to be out here holed out, naked all the time, catching pneumonia in the ass, when you can really just walk like a queen. And you'll see how many men fall at your feet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful that, whenever something come up, I remember one night I was in the trap, and I used to love hanging out in the trap because it's so much fun. You get all the best deals. And so I'm hanging out in the trap. I'm hanging out in the trap with my cousin, and she was a D girl. And that same night, her boyfriend bust her in the head with a door. Her best friend got her clothes ripped off her in the parking lot. And I went and wrote a poem called Hit Like a Man for them, for their daughters, because I didn't want their daughters to go through the same thing that they had gone through. And that poem has done so much work. It's just like, we're here to make an impact, and I just keep praying for the clique that I'll write a poem that will make the Chicago youth feel good about themselves and stop killing each other, that the masses of Americans will stop being slaves to our political system and rebel against injustice and unfairness. I pray for that all the time because that's what I am. I'm a poet. Poets are the legislators of the world when they really take that responsibility. Right now you got a bunch of graham crackers who are called rappers, and they for the demise. You know what I'm saying? They ain't for your upliftment. Not all of them, of course not. You got your Goody Mob, number one Goody Mob fan right here. You got your Killer Mikes. You got your Cass. You got your Mos Def. You got your Talibs. You got your little brother. And even with people like Wayne, who at times say political things, even though he's shrouded in all of this, excessive drug use and all of that, I understand why he does it, but if he can say one thing that can have an impact for the greater good, I'm okay, because you can talk about every aspect of life. Just make sure you talk about every aspect of life. I know every woman in your life ain't a whore, ain't a bitch. You know some good women. That's unacceptable, and that's the problem with the rap world is that they show no balance. We're the only community, period, hands down, that uplifts every other woman and shits on their own. We're the only community that do that.
Wow.
We're the only one. And no one talks about it. No one acts like that exists. I sat there one day and watched Telemundo, Moon 3, Trade This, and looked for the black women. And Colombia has just the same amount of percentage of black women as we do. Brazil do too. And they don't show them like that. They don't show us as whores and just eye candy that is disrespected and busting champagne bottles on them. They don't do that. Country music doesn't do that. Only rock did that 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 30 years ago. And then that was dismantled. And it's like, come on, brothers. Like, y'all got to show sisters in a better light sometime. Like, there's no good women around you. Everybody is a concubine or a whore. That's not the truth. Then you got daughters. So that's what you're saying about them. And I just want the balance. So as a poet with that strong word, I look to them to be more responsible. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you can't say I love me some ratchet music. I am the one who's like, where that Trinidad James at? You know what I'm saying? And
right.
It's about balance. So that's my charge right now for my community to understand that we are such a beautiful diaspora, and we are more than Cash Money and Cosby. There's so much in between. And so that's what it is with me in the word. It's just like, oh, my God, you have this power to, uplift people. You have, like, Goody Mob is the reason why I'm fearless. CeeLo Green said, and I refuse limitation, you never fail when you try. Those simple words have made me go do poetry at the strip club, do poetry at the comedy club, do poetry in the park, do poetry at the Future concert, do poetry at any venue, not worried about what they going to think, how they going to feel, knowing I got a word for them. Doing a poem about the dude who killed my cousin. This poem I got called Banned, Bitch-Ass Nigga. Right. Not only did it impact so many people. I mean, reverends use that in they men conference and stuff, which I'm just amazed at. I've had that conversation so many times. But the brothers on my street, on my block, quit carrying guns because of that poem.
Wow.
That's power. We have that kind of power to affect each other.
If you guys are just tuning in, we're talking to Tamika GeorgiaME Harper, and we're definitely discussing the power of words. Definitely tell a friend to call in and log in, because this is amazing already. It's only been 5 minutes. They can definitely tune in at blogtalkradio.com/touchyouerneighbor or call in at 818-572-2935. I'm so glad to have you in the building because you're so amazing, and I know you have so much to share with all of us, and I'm trying to get and soak in as much as I can as possible. But as far as your writing technique and your process, are you one of those impulse writers where you can just say, I'm going to go write a poem, or does it have to be something that pops off that inspires you for you to dig deep and pull out what you've been pulling out with all your work?
Now, it comes two ways, by desperation or inspiration.
Wow.
Now, it's like I get asked to write, for pharmaceutical companies or a commercial or an event or for somebody's party or something. I have to pull that. I'm a decent writer. I don't want to be arrogant. I'm grateful for the gift. So I know how to write and construct. That's not an issue. But there's nothing like that poem that wake you up in the middle of the night and you don't finish writing till 10 a.m. that morning because you had to get it out. And that's how it comes to me. Those are the most powerful pieces I have, always the most powerful. Now, I can go, well, I want to write about this. Let me write about that. And I never perform those pieces. They rarely ever see the light of day because they just don't have the soul that I need them to have. Even though, someone needs, like with Barack Obama when he became president, I wanted to write something. You know what I'm saying? And it just wouldn't come. And then it came like maybe a month after he was in office. You know what I'm saying? But it was never finished. But but just the inspiration to write it came a month after he was in office. A man I was so inspired by. A family I'm inspired by. I love the Obamas. More I love Michelle than anything. That's really what it is. Because he wasn't married to Michelle, I wouldn't really gave a damn, tell the truth. But, just keeping it real. Because, I was a Hillary girl. I had been campaigning for Hillary for so long that when Barack Obama came about saying he was running, I was like, well, who is this brother? I don't know him. And I wasn't going to necessarily vote for him until Toni Morrison had wrote this letter. And I was like, yeah, she right. And then I heard him speak, and it was then I knew he had the power to affect the nation to actually move. And that's why I voted for him, because I was like, we need a leader that empowers the people to know that they're a part of the process. That didn't happen once he got in office. He became a politician all the way. And not that he isn't a great politician and he's done some great work, but I know I'm a nerd. I'm a political head. I watch all the shows. I read up on every action that he do, and it's not just his fault, because what it is still the people. If every time he tries to have a mandate or put out legislation, it gets shot down by the same his Democratic comrades, that's the people allowing that. That means we're not involved to tell our representatives, no, you need to make sure that measure passes. Y'all don't need to filibuster. Y'all don't need the Republicans run with this. But that's our fault. We're still slaves. And that's why I am the way I am about Barack Obama. But, like, that piece will never see the light of day. I ain't going to say never. He might do something in the next 3 weeks that make me go, let me go finish that piece. You know what I'm saying? Let me move on that right now. But that's my process. I might, like the poem I wrote about my city. I was leaving New York. I had lived in New York because I was on Broadway. I lived in Brooklyn, and I love my neighborhood. Shout out to Brooklyn, Fort Greene, Clinton Hills, and I'm leaving. I'm headed on the highway to the airport, and I'm crying because I loved my neighborhood, and on the side of the highway, it said Brooklyn, the heart of America. And right at that point, I pulled out my pen and pad, and I said, if Brooklyn is the heart of America, Atlanta gots to be the soul. You feel me? And the poem just jumped off. The poem just jumped off, and that was just what it was. So that's how it comes. I don't like contrived writings. I'm a poet who is very thorough in this game. I know when someone is writing something for reaction, they name some black leader or spit real fast trying to get a reaction. I've never done that. I think that's lame as hell. But the audience don't know no better, so they were like, oh, he's smart, she good, and they really whack. They ain't saying nothing, or they leave you hanging. They ain't gave you no solution to the issues at hand that they even presented. So I'm just real big about getting closure, having solution in my work, options and ideas and visuals that you can see and feel. I'm very grateful to the art of writing, and it's such a blessing because, it has taken me so far. I can't even explain to you. I was a girl who had never been on a plane till I was 24 years old, and the first time I went on a plane was to the National Slam in Seattle, Washington. as captain of the Atlanta team. So, and then from there, like, I can't even explain to you all the places God done took me with this word. I mean, it's just amazing to me. But I also asked God for it, and I knew I deserved it. A lot of people want things, but they don't do the work. And then they don't believe they deserve it. You got to know you deserve everything that you ask for as a child of God, doing the work that you're supposed to do, and He will deliver. I asked for my own day. I'm gonna tell you this story right quick. So I'm in Chicago, right, and it's Kanye West Day, right? So I'm like, Kanye West, yeah, he deserves a day. Kanye West the bomb. I love Kanye, da-da-da-da. So I'm in Chicago another year, maybe 2 years later, and it's Jennifer Hudson Day. So nothing against Jennifer, but this was all off of Dreamgirls, okay? One movie. So I was like, hold on, God, now, come on now. All my conversations with God. So I'm like, now, hey, she ain't did number one movie. I mean, now she got a day, and then that same year, that's when the Sisters of Delta Sigma Theta honored me with the Kaumba Award, which the cities honored me with my own day. And it was all because I asked God for it. I felt like I deserve my own day. I feel like, I want world peace, and I know that's a big order, but I feel like if you have majority in line, you always going to have demons, but if you got angels who are willing to go to war, the demons don't stand a chance. You feel me? Yeah. And we really got, the good people really got to get their weight up. God don't want no punk soldiers. I'm sick of that. You always claiming that you love God, but you ain't willing to fight the battle. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm about. I'm about getting this army together, to go against all this wrong. It's like our whole society, it rewards the demons. When we have these mass killings, who do you hear about? You don't hear about the victims. The murderers are heralded and mythologized. You feel me? Unacceptable, but we allow it. I want to put into legislation a bill where the accused killer gets no light. No one knows who they are. You get, as a station, you get fined for giving them any kind of light, because you're not only hindering them. I mean, you're not only making them a hero, but you're also condemning that family. They ain't had nothing to do with that fool. You feel me? And that gives no honor to the victims. And that's what we constantly do. We make them these pop culture icons. There's no reason that everybody know Timothy McVeigh. You feel me?
Right.
But we don't know none of those babies that was killed in that nursery. So that's just how I think. So that's my mission here, is to give people a different way of thinking, for smart women to be applauded for their intelligence and not condemned for it. Hillary Clinton said one time, I love her for this, she said, she was speaking to a college class, and she said, I know some of y'all wonder if you get your PhD, will you get your MRS? You feel me?
Wow.
And you shouldn't be penalized for your intellect. I'm sick of young women. Why would I want to be a smart woman when the hoes is winning? You know what I'm saying? Like, the hoes get all the light now. And you marry them and you hold them up like they something special. I'm not saying we ain't got hoe in us. Everybody need a little hoe sometimes, hoes.
Kind of.
Everybody need a little freaky dick. God loves us to have great, amazing sex, but it can be done honorably. Not in, I don't think He put that here for it to be horrible and all frigid, but women who have no virtue should not be heralded. Wow. I just feel that way. It's amazing in our society. Like, all these women are fighting to be the whore of Babylon, and I'm not the one. And if you're gonna do that, then be a Mata Hari type woman for the upliftment. You know what I'm saying? Bring down the demons. You know what I'm saying? For your people, be an Esther woman. You know what I'm saying? Of the Bible. You feel me? Like, it's different ways that we're given this power for a reason, but women don't know how to use it. Me and my mentee, Kalina, we be talking about how they making the stock drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. God, man.
True.
So, that's what I'm here for.
And we're talking live to Tamika GeorgiaME Harper, Atlanta's own Tony, Emmy, and Peabody Award-winning poetry live. And Tamika, what is our time like right now? Because I don't want to keep you too long, because I know you got a lot of... Oh, no,
you're good. You're good.
Perfect. Because what I want to do right now is, since we're talking about the power of the pooch, we're talking live with Tamika GeorgiaME Harper. A lot of people know who you are, and a lot of people may not. I really want to get into for your protection. right here live. Could you please talk us to For Your Protection that you perform on the Def Jam Poetry series?
Well, and what's so crazy about that poem, I just didn't want to have sex with this one particular dude anymore. Raw. I was not going to let him convince me. I was not going to let him, put me in that position anymore. I was like, I don't do this. Why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not right. I don't feel comfortable. And God gave me that poem, and it's been such a great safe sex piece. It really what it is it's like it needs to be taught in middle schools. Because this is the same game that that's going to get ran on every woman between the ages of 12 and 35. That's just what it is. It's just the same game. Like, you hear the same lines. You hear, all of the game that brothers have said for decades. You know what I'm saying, of why they should and why you should, and, questioning what they doing. It's not about questioning who you're with or what you're doing. It's about protecting myself. I don't have to, if I'm laying down with you, I'm going to protect myself. It's not about what they think about you. It's about what you know about yourself. I know I'm safe. I know I love myself more than enough to not put myself in a position where I can get some horrid disease or some life-altering disease. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't just AIDS. Like, I got friends who don't got herpes. And herpes, that is a beast. You know what I'm saying? That's something that can prevent you from having children. So it was. I was just grateful that it came, how it came. It's much longer than what's on Def Poetry. Actually, it's so much longer. But when you do Def Poetry, they not only cut your work, they ask you to cut down your work so that they can fit it into 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And that's the only piece that I've had on there that was actually cut. But, it's a great piece. I love it. I'm grateful to it. I'm grateful for the work that is done. So many young women come up to me and young men, too, because I need young men to understand that they are disease-ridden vessels with clear complexions. Do you feel me?
Right.
So while you thinking she looked like the model, she pure, or she don't mess around with a lot of people, or you don't know what she's done. And especially when somebody from another city, they could have been the whole of the town. Now they deciding to be all virtuous, and your stupid butt don't fail for it. Now you walk around here with the burning fire between your legs. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do it.
This is, and we're going to, for you guys, if this is your first time hearing it, prepare to be amazed. This is For Your Protection. We're live in the Candy Shop with Tamika Georgia B. Harper. I'm like the happiest person right now. You guys are probably hearing it here first, or you're probably hearing it for the millionth time, if that's a word, right here live in the Candy Shop. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Me. I ain't fucking no more niggas. Without a condom. No matter how cute, how fine, no matter how that conversation blows my mind, no matter how many whips they roll, no matter how many bills they fold, no matter after promises of commitment, no matter the money he spent on my rent, no matter how dope he is, no matter I got his kid, no matter the fake wedding ceremony in bed, no matter if I believe everything he said, no matter how good it feels to have it raw and real, this latex will fit the bill. No matter if he gets offended, I don't know if he's been rear-ended, fudge packing, living double lives, or just experiment. I don't know who a nigga been with. You know they lie when they say they can tell. And though my soul may go to hell for carnal copulation and unwed cohabitation, I shall not break the first rule of nature, which is self-preservation. On this reserve, there's no game you can shoot. I've heard all the lines. I won't end up living proof. I know how to have sex, girl. Obviously not. You're not even prepared to begin. Well, girl, just let me stick the head in. Not happening. Who you fucking with, girl, talking about me, what you got? I got some sense, and who else I'm fucking ain't part of this plot. It's definitely not a concern to you. If it is, why you so willing to have an unprotected screw? Futile attempts at reverse psychology, insulting my intelligence, all designed to hurt me. But nothing would hurt more than the announcement of having HIV. I know I was fucking you raw, but now there's a new law. No glove, no love. No hat, no cats. No banana with a peel, no monkey, maybe you feel. I understand this conflict with safe sex shouldn't be a question. Remiss of race, orientation, class, brawn, or behavior, there is no detection. It's not about trusting anyone. It's about me honoring my reflection. Don't just strap up for me, but for your own protection.
When I heard that poem, Tamika GeorgiaME Harper, I hit the floor. Because you spoke of something that, just like you said, middle school, and at this point, we may need even hit 5th grade. It may need to hit 5th grade in elementary school, because women, men, children, black, white, gay, straight, need to hear that the number one rule of life is self-preservation. And
amen.
I thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, if you guys are just tuning in, we're talking to Tamika GeorgiaME Harper. That was For Your Protection. You guys can go to YouTube to check out that poem. You definitely can hit up GeorgiaME.com or the NewWorldOrder.com and just check out Tamika GeorgiaME Harper. She has so many amazing pieces, and I'm definitely going to try to fit as many as I can in today's show. Tony Award-winning, Emmy Award-winning, Peabody Award-winning poet. She's live in the Candy Shop. Tamika GeorgiaME Harper from Washington High School to Broadway. Do you feel like you have the weight of Atlanta on your shoulder?
I feel like I have, but it ain't too much. That ain't nothing. Like the weight of the world. That's how I feel, because I just love people, and I've gone to so many places, and I just feel. I can't help it. Like a poet's job is to feel, so I got the right profession. And I've always just wanted to represent my people in the best aspect and connect the universal thread we have as Nubians, the first people on the planet. You know, every person on the planet is black, at least 60%, period, because we're the first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I feel a motherly obligation to the world. You know, being from Atlanta, being from Washington High, the same high school that Martin Luther King went to, I feel like I can affect the world, period. I've never felt limitations. Being from Black World, I've never thought that there were limits upon me. I mean, when you live in Atlanta, your mayor is black. Your sheriff is black. Your police chief is black. On career day, the black lawyer and black anthropologist and the black Supreme Court, not Supreme Court justice, but we did have, Thurgood Marshall. You're inundated with black culture and accomplishment, So I never felt like anything was too big, and I know the impact that you can have as a black person on this planet. And everybody loves black people, no matter where you go on the planet. Like, it's amazing to me. Everybody want to identify with you. Everybody want to, kick it with you. Everybody want to talk to you. And that's anywhere. When I lived in Scotland, it was the same way. The kids in the scheme, that's what they call their hood. Every place I go, I always go to the hood. I got to go to the hood. Except now, in certain places, I ain't so apt to go. Like when I went to the hood in Belize, I gave everything I had. I was crying because they was drinking out of dirty water pits. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think that we live a bad life here, and we don't even understand how blessed we are in America. Yeah, there's injustice, but we don't have the kind of poverty that a lot of countries have. And, so that's what it's about. It's about enlightening people, letting them know that, just because you're from a certain area, you're not limited by what people say about that area. And I'm empowered by it. By being from the west side of Atlanta, I ain't scared of anything. Okay? Like, it's just not an option. I mean, I don't have somebody get shot 6 feet away from me. I was raped at 17. It's not a thing. There's nothing you can do to me. 50 Cent been shot 8 times. He's still here. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. You can't worry about that. You need to worry about the life you live and the legacy you leave. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about for me. As far as being from Atlanta, I think it was destined that I was born in Atlanta. It was destined that I went to Washington High. It's destined that I'm from the west side of Atlanta. It's destined that my mama from the country, and she was an honorable woman my mother worked for 40 years in hotels and hospitals as a housekeeper. And my friends moms had all kinds of stuff, and they had Jordans, but their lights was getting cut off. They never kept a phone, but they was fresh. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
We ain't never go through that because my mama was responsible. And I think to myself, like, how in the world did she do all the things she did for me, never making over $17,000 a year, ever? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's what I'm empowered by. So being from Atlanta, my friend Suhail Hamad, the Palestinian sister that does deaf poetry, she was like, on your tombstone, it's going to say, I'm from Atlanta.
Because you definitely rep the A and you rep it amazing. At the end of every show, I expect to be fed spiritually and to see you throw up the A sign before you throw down the mic and walk off the stage.
Every time.
You are blessing me right now so much in the candy shop, and I'm so glad to have you. Once again, if you guys are just tuning in, tell a friend to call in 818-572-2935 or log in online at blogtalkradio.com/touchaneighbor. This has to be one of the best ways I could have started 2013 off, and I really, really appreciate you. And you just spoke about legacy, and I can truly say that you are leaving an amazing legacy because to have people like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpner, and the Honorable Louis Farrakhan ask, request, demand that they hear Tamika GeorgiaME Harper, how does that make you feel mentally?
Man, all of it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even explain to you, like, the Jesse Jackson, Black Ice took me to meet him at his hotel, and I see why women swoon over Jesse Jackson. I'm just saying, just keeping it real. You don't understand, Kalina. I'm just saying, he just got a magnetism about him, and he real. Like, people say he only come when the cameras come. That's not true. A lot of times the cameras only come because he there. And that's real.
Wow.
Same thing go with Al Sharpton because they demand that. And I did Al Sharpton's Breakfast with Wendy Williams years ago, and he heard me, and I was on her radio show, and he called her then and asked for me to speak, you know, to do the poem that he loved me to do. And when it came to Elijah Muhammad, that was the scariest. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan, that was the scariest appearance I've ever made in my life because I was so intimidated. I mean, it is like, you know, Jesus. I'm not even fronting. Like, I mean, it just felt like, oh, my God. And for me to be the only woman to speak other than him, the only person to speak other than him, and be the only woman, I just was like, oh, my God. And when I spoke in front of him, he enjoyed it. He gave me a standing ovation. He laughed. I just was like, wow, you know, like, this is amazing to me. And I'm just grateful because I'm supposed to be in the room with these people. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. I'm not shocked by it. I'm just waiting on Oprah to get her mind right and call me. Right. Because I need to sit and talk to her, period. I need to get her self-esteem up because she don't know how bad she is to me. Y'all like, you need to know how bad you is. You can't feel bad with all that don't. Girl, do you know people paying for that don't? You need to embrace that. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You Venus Hottentot. You ever heard of Sarah Bartman? Because as smart as Oprah is, she don't know everything. And I don't know everything. And that's the thing about people. My homegirl in London told me one time, we was talking, she's a white girl, and born in London with a black daughter, and we was talking about the word nigger, and the term for nigger is ignorant. Well, if that's the case, everyone is.
Right. True. Very true.
If that's the case, everyone is, and ain't nothing wrong with being ignorant. It's about not wanting to know. That is the problem, staying in the dark. Because there's no one who knows everything. So, you know, like the shame that we feel, I don't have that. I don't have shame about black people in any aspect, whether they're a junkie on the street, whether they, you know, Supreme Court justice. I don't believe if you bougie, you only bougie so much because you 1 or 2 generations out the projects at best. You know what I'm saying? And at any time, the fiscal cliff, you could fall right off of it. You feel? So I'm never intimidated by people and what they have. I'm in awe of the greatness of God that lies within them. Yeah, I honor that. But other than that, that's all we should be doing is uplifting each other, helping each other. Because if you always talking about what people ain't doing and you ain't got no plan to help them, you need to shut up. That's just how I feel. Like I can't deal with that. In one of my poems, the line I say, you can attribute the destruction of the black community to love, housewives and love and hip hop. And in the immortal words of Sir Lucius Leftfoot, boy, stop. Because you can't blame our destruction on these actions of these women or these people when that's their experience. You know what I'm saying? That's their experience. What about your experience? How do you counteract that? I don't hate on the rappers at all, but I know that you're not everything that you're saying. Y'all, let's be real. Let's be really vulnerable and really strong men so that these young people ain't acting out trying to emulate the bull that y'all on. Because really strong men are like Martin Luther King, who know that they real weapon is their spirit and their courage. You know what I'm saying? They don't show any courage. They fall right in line with the status quo, trying to be approved by white people. When white people already love black people, really, it's not. You can always have your people who are upset at their condition based off of what they've been brainwashed to believe is because of black people. You're never going to stop that. That's never going to stop. But for the most part, white people honor the soul of black people. There's a reason why black people are connected and affiliated with soul. That's no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we are the feeling people with the strength, especially the black people in America, the tribe of Judah, the fourth generation. Look at what we have endured and how we still will be singing spirituals and praising God, how we still would love our oppressor even through them oppressing us to this day. And I'm just like, black people, how you feel bad about yourself? How a black person got low self-esteem? I don't get it. Do you know your history? Have you picked up a book? Because that's the problem. When you don't know where you come from, that's when you're allowed to believe what the world tells you about yourself. I never, as a big girl, I thank God for the examples that I've had. There's Barbara Jordan, who used to stir so much fear in the Texas Senate. You know what I'm saying? They was like, she would be the woman that would be president, because she had this voice that was so strong and commanding. When she talked on the floor, everybody would shut up. When she made a mandate or introduced legislation, it always was taken with the highest reverence. I honor her, knowing that Shirley Chisholm exists. And then if you want to go back, Harriet Tubman, do you understand me? How you feel bad as a black person? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real?
Right.
The resilience of your people. And then, just the flyness of black people. Come on now. Everybody want to be black. Now, everybody want to be something. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on, but the rest of the world still want to be black, still want to be connected, still the most powerful people on the planet that are the most recognizable are all black. Jesus, Michael Jackson, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey. You feel me?
Right.
Everybody know that.
God.
You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna feel bad? I don't get it. What it is you feel bad because you're not being responsible to the power that has already been given to you. That's the problem.
If you guys are just tuning in, I am having a blast with today's special guest, Tamika GeorgiaME Harper. We have discussed so many amazing things. Definitely make sure you guys go check out GeorgiaME.com, as well as tell a friend to call in right now to 818-572-2935 or log in online at blogtalkradio.com/touchyourneighbor. Now, I want to know, because I don't know much about the poetry industry or the poetry world, if that's even an avenue, but how does the poetry industry, or how is it in comparison with what we know about the music industry and the movie industry? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you not like it? Are you against it? Are you for it? Like, how do you look at the poetry industry, or did you make it what you wanted to make it?
I had to find my own way and make a way out of no way, because you have people who, by me being a black woman, unapologetically black, I do intimidate some people, to say the least. And But at the same time, I'm grateful because God has made a way for me. I have a good demand. I do everything. Like, I do colleges and universities. I do concerts. I do private parties. I get commission work from different, corporations and things at times. That's not all the time, but when it do come through, I'm very grateful. So it is an industry, but the thing about it is as spoken word artists, it isn't what it should be. Like with the comedians, they have venues all over the country that they can go to and say, I'll do 15 minutes for $300 or $500. That's not even a thought. But when a poet goes across the country, there aren't many venues. There's open mic. So open mic doesn't pay what a comedy club or arena pays. But because of my name, I can get a gig opening for this person, that person, for a substantial amount of money. And for the open mic people, I just have to tell them, have me on your anniversary, save $100 a month, and have me in a year. You know what I'm saying? So that you can, so that I can come. And people out here who do it, and they're great, they take whatever they can get. And that's the problem. It's like if it costs you a G or better to get GeorgiaME, and you got somebody who's really good doing it for $50, then it ain't nothing I can do about that. Now, in the comedy world, you going to get cussed out, shunned. They going to all come at you, tell you, Shawty, you messing up the game. But in the poetry world, it's just always somebody there trying to, get that light, trying to get some shine. And some of them not as good as others. I've had it. That's why I quit posting where I'm going to be, because I would have people underbid me, you know what I'm saying, at college. I know you're going to pay GeorgiaME this much, so I'll come do it for $500 or whatever. And colleges have a budget, and that's what really killed me. They really shit on the poets. They really do. It's other than, I'm going to keep this real, as a black poet, I am grateful to the Latino community and my white homegirls and homeboys, because they never flinch when it comes to paying me, ever. Never flinch. Now, at the same, in black universities, they want me to always stifle what I say, but shout out to Howard and FAMU for never making me do anything different than me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want me to come to your university, a Christian university, I have no problem with appropriating my language for your occasion. That's not an issue. I understand. But if you had Lil Wayne there last week sipping syrup on the stage, then you shouldn't be saying nothing to me about what I'm saying.
Right. Wow.
Period. But that's what goes on. That's why you have to create your way. That's why I just finished my TV show that I executive produced, GeorgiaME Speak Easy, and we're working to sell that and get that out there so that people can see unapologetic poetry, raw and real. Because even with Def Poetry Jam, they picked what you said. Not with me so much, because I was a staple. When I came in as a rebel. What they picked me for, I've never done on that show ever. What they picked me for and wanted me to do, I said, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. And it worked for me. Because you don't need to live your life with regret.
I definitely salute you for that. Another thing, make sure you guys tell a friend to tune in to 818-572-2935, blogtalkradio.com/touch your neighbor. I'm just so happy. I'm so grateful to have GeorgiaME in the building. Another thing about you is the fact that you have a TV show, and this is not just about you. Could you please explain to the world, to the people, about Adam's Rib and what you've done to incorporate all the other amazing poets, female poets, in your own way?
Female poets. Well, see, what happens in most genres, period, women are pitted against each other. And I have this mantra: miserable bitches hate, bad bitches unite. That's just what it is. And I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem with women. If a woman has an issue with me, I'm going to get to the core of what her issue is with herself, because I just got love. And as I've been in this game, every time I turn around, the brothers would be coming at me going, you need to do this, you need to do this, because blah, blah, blah coming up. You need to do this, you need to do that, because, they say that blah, blah, blah is this, that, and the other. And the only thing you're going to get from me is, yes, she is bad. She cold. I like her. I'm never going to fall into the pit of competition, ever. I don't compete with nobody but myself. Ain't nobody around here. I ain't seen nobody Jesus like, for the most part, other than myself. Everybody got the potential, but I only compete with myself. And I love these women. So I decided to have this coalition, this collective called Adam's Rib. It consists of myself, Queen Sheba, Sonny Patterson, Emerald Green, Tasha Jones, Teresa the Songbird, Dana Gilmore, Ruckus from Denver, Scorpio Blues, and Israelite from Brooklyn. And, you know, these are women I met over the years around the country, and I admired their work. I loved their shows. They was consistent. They constantly elevating the game of spoken word. They have an impact when they speak. They are profound, and they beast. They not meek in any kind of way. And I was like, y'all, if we get together, we can really do some damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can really make an impact. You know, like Voltron, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's get together. Right. And so we started doing shows across the country at different times, and the shows are just always amazing. And women get so much strength out of seeing all of us together. If it's just 4 of us, that's great. If it's 5, if it's 8, if it's all 10, you know, it's just amazing. And that's what I want to impart upon women. Let's not dog each other. Let's not compete with each other. Let's uplift each other. Let's help each other. If you and a sister got the same man, don't get mad at her. Command that man make a decision. You feel me? Don't hate on her and what she look like and how she is. It ain't got nothing to do with you, and that's not gonna make you look better. You don't know what her skills are. You know what I'm saying? So while you sitting there competing, you losing. You losing off gate because you shouldn't compete. So And we just, I think all those women are just absolutely amazing. They give great shows. They represent where they from with integrity and power and grace and beauty. And I'm just grateful to God that I'm affiliated with them and that they allow me to put this together and they're a part of it. You know, because some people would just hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to be part of that. She's trying to be. But that also is a testament to the kind of character I have, period. Like, people don't really tell me no, because they know I'll do anything for them. I've always been like that. Like, I don't care who it is. You know, on the street, I don't know you. If I got the money, I don't care if that man finna go buy some crack. God told me, he asked me for $1. So I'm going to give him $1 because I got $1. My mama put that in me. Like, people used to say to my mama all the time, you know, he didn't have to go get something to drink. My mama said, that don't matter. He said he hungry. So I'm giving him this $1 so he can get something to eat. Now, if he chooses something else to do with it, that's on him. And it's about the intent. And that's why all of those women and so many of the brothers, period, across the country, like my festival, we have over 60 different artists that come every year. And they come on their own dime. They come to celebrate my day. They come, you know, to do their things, stuff, you know, to do their job, which they charge large amounts to do. They come and do it for me, and they know I'll do it for them. So that's what it is. And Adam's Rib, you know, I'm trying to get this tour together, and I'm praying that by mid-May we on the road doing 21 cities or better. That's the goal. And I know it's going to happen because God has allowed everything else to happen in my life that I put out there, the vision. People don't understand that Christ is not a person. It's a spirit of prophecy. And if you don't have any prophecy or any vision, you won't have. People without vision will perish, and that's the problem with us right now. We don't see ourselves in a better situation. We don't see our communities with strong men and strong women. We don't see our communities. We just condemn ourselves, and that's not how I live. That's not how I live at all. My art form, it will be a major entity this year. Like, people be like, oh, my God, that spoken word. Oh, I didn't know it was like that. I thought it was, and my soul bleeds 10,000 ancestors. What are you talking about? Like, what are you know what I'm saying? You're trying to show you smart, so you're trying to be smart. And a true teacher always delivers. So that's what it's about. And this spoken word, and I want the rappers to know, I know that I don't, and most of my friends who really do this, we party. And we party to their music. So we don't have no issue with them. So they need to stop thinking that all poets hate them, because you do got poets who just hate on the rap world. Like, they got like 5 poems, and they just dogging the hell out of rappers. And I'm like, that's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to get you anywhere. And that's lame to me. Shawty, like, I like to dance. I need something with a bottom in it, a bass in it. You know what I'm saying? A dope beat and these brothers got strong, powerful voices. There's a reason why rappers are so prevalent and so powerful and so influential, the bass in a black man's voice does things. It causes vibrations across the universe. They don't even know how powerful they are. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with them. I want them to know how powerful they are. And it's all right if you got this, but you got to trick daddy it where you talking about Dro in the wind, but then you talking about America. You feel me? You got to have that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Say something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't care what it is. Say something. Talk about something that matters and that can actually uplift people. Don't just be, all the boys, all my D-boys, all my homeboys I've ever known, period, ain't not one of them wanted to sell dope. Not one of them. If they had other options, because, that was the whole thing, was to get enough money to do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the whole goal. It wasn't to be a D-boy forever. It wasn't to be, fall into the system and becoming prison labor, which is now the new slave system. That wasn't the goal. You know what I'm saying? The goal was to get a car wash or a laundromat or a gas station. You feel me? So that myth that they keep putting in these young men's heads is just some bull. The OGs is like, what's going on? They got the game messed up. I mean, they really do. And then a lot of these brothers who are out here talking that ain't never done the game. They ain't never been on the streets longer than 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? If that. You know what I'm saying? So quit acting. It's like somebody, like a Lil Wayne, but you ain't never sold dope, shawty. You sold dope for a week, but you was an honor student, and then you became a rapper at 14. You need to stop. Now, T.I., that's a whole other situation. You feel me? But look at how he's diversified. T.I. does the damn thing. That's my ex-husband, because I don't disrespect her no more. I used to say he was my husband, but I like her and stuff, so I ain't going to disrespect her no more. But, but like T.I., he has a construction company that only hires ex-felons. Solution to the problem. T.I. owns 42, 43 homes that he rents out to Section 8 and low-income families. Solution to the problem. T.I. does so much work at Center Hill all year long, from school backpack drives to school toy drives to health checks to, whatever he can do. Same thing with Ludacris and his foundation. Jeezy gave scholarships to every high school in Atlanta for $2,000. You feel me? So I'm saying, be a solution. Be a part of the solution. Add to your community. If you're not doing that, then I look at you as a demon. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you got. I don't honor money. That don't mean nothing. If you really know anything, money don't mean nothing. Your wealth is in your relationships and your character. And that's what we got to get back to, when black people were just honorable people. No matter what the society said, we knew that we like being decent. We like being in order. It ain't about perfection. It's about righteousness. So that way you won't feel bad. People get caught up in not being perfect. You'll never be that. That's an unattainable goal. That's dumb. But being righteous, doing the best you can, helping your fellow man, looking out for your brothers and sisters, that's truly Christian. That's truly Jesus-like. So that's why I love the hood so much, because that's where all them people at. I'm sorry. Like, where I go, the most decent people who done brought me in their house, fed me, helped me when my car break down on the side of the road. It wasn't the person who was in the BMW that pulled over. It was the brother in the Plucker Boom that pulled over and helped me get to where I needed to go.
Because he understood.
So, he understood. Yeah. And that's what's so beautiful about being from here. And I want my hood folk to understand, quit being ashamed. Quit letting folk make you feel bad about not having so-called money. Because you can have money, but what are you doing with it? Money's a tool, and you're supposed to utilize it to not only further your family, but further your community and the world. And people have gotten so selfish, and they so materialistic, and they only think about themselves and how the world see them, that they ain't looking at what God is actually looking at. So, I get to preaching, can you? So, what I'm saying? I'm a minister and stuff, so,
Right. I am definitely enjoying you. We are now in the debriefing, which what it means is the live screen online is cut off, but everyone who's listening on the phone, and they are listening to GeorgiaME, they will still hear you. What I want to know before we let you go, we're going to wrap everything up. I just love you. We got to get together really, 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 really soon.
You eat child baby.
What was that?
You eat child baby.
What is that? Cow?
It is. Eat child baby, the All-American stir-fry restaurant. That's one of my favorite restaurants. Anyway, we'll talk, because that's where I like to go.
I'm already excited because I'm fasting right now, so come the 13th, the only thing on my mind is meat, so we definitely will have to try it out. How can the people stay in contact with you? Because I know you're working on May 4th. I know you're getting everything together for Tamika Fest. I know there's going to be another taping of a TV show, and I'm really, really hoping because I missed the first one. Like, how can we stay connected with Tamika GeorgiaME Harper so that we can be fed again, because you have really blessed the candy shops today. So how can we keep this connection going?
Well, you can hit me up, of course, at Twitter, at GeorgiaME, at GeorgiaME. I'm relaunching my website, doing it all over, and it's going to be a different tagline. More than likely, it's going to be GeorgiaME the Poet. And also, I'm a minister, like I said, so you can reach me at 678-82-GAME-1. And whatever concerns, questions, comments you have for me, I'm a life coach, so it's nothing for me to talk to you. I know that, people like, you need to get paid for that. God pays me in ways that man can't see. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. So if you need me, you got a little fast-tailed niece you need to bring by my house, or I need to come meet you somewhere and we need to talk, because folk need real conversation. They need fearless conversation. They need people who aren't afraid to get down and dirty, however it is, and I'm that person. I'm on Facebook. My Tamika Harper GeorgiaME page is full, but my Tamika GeorgiaME Harper is not full. So you can friend me on Facebook. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm in all the social networks, LinkedIn and Reverb Nation or whatever. And like I said, I'm very easy to get to, as you can see. Because people are like, I've been trying to contact you. I'm like, Shawty, you ain't really try. I
had no problem. And I thank you so much for just embracing the calling. At the end of the day, I just praise you for embracing the calling and taking the responsibility of the good and the bad that comes with it, the midnight phone calls of somebody who needs counseling, trying to talk to somebody while you got to eat. I just respect you so much and just thank you for embracing it and sharing with the world all that you have, because you are absolutely amazing, Miss Harper. I don't know if anybody told you today, but I love you. You are amazing. I'm just so blessed, and I'm so glad today's show went the way today's shows went. I thank you for just being right there, the whole 9 yards, from calling to texting. Like, I appreciate you for today, because this means absolutely everything to me. I am so grateful to have you here in the candy shop, and this won't be the last time.
Kenya, thank you for thinking of me, for being a light to me, because, at times when you do this career of faith and offering, because that is what a spoken word artist career is faith and offering. And I celebrate 15 years in April of doing nothing but spoken word, not selling no ass, no crack, no nothing. And so we as artists need to be uplifted, not ego stroke, but we need to know that our work is actually having an impact. And I'm grateful to you for reaching out to me, and anything that I can do to further your ministry, further your business, further your empire, you let me know, and it is my honor, and I thank you so much.
Thank you. And before we let you go, I thank you just one more thing. I want to share with the world, when you were on the Monique show and you did the Ghetto Belle, I fell in love with it, because it was just like a whole different other side. Like, you tapped into the rapper GeorgiaME, you tapped into the poet GeorgiaME, you tapped into the singer GeorgiaME, and you blessed me with the Ghetto Belle. And at that point, I realized, you know what? I'm a Ghetto Belle as well. And so we're going to close out the show. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. And I got to give you a round of applause again, because you're absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And I would definitely be in touch with you so much, really, really soon. Any closing remarks before we close the candy shop and allow the people to experience the Ghetto Belle piece?
I just want to say to everybody within the sound of my voice, know the power you possess. Jesus said, greater things ye shall do, and accept that responsibility without fear, because it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to walk on water, but you might be the one to give a person a drop of water, or help them bathe, or cleanse their soul with your spirit. So don't ever underestimate the power that God has given you. And I love you all. Let's just love each other.
Thank you so much. That was Tamika GeorgiaME Harper. Oh, my God. Today's show has been absolutely amazing. Make sure you guys tune in next Monday for the Brown Skinned Empire series. We're going to be talking to some black business owners, and we're going to be sharing the information and sharing the wealth right here in the candy shop. I love you guys. Make sure you follow at Kenya TST on Twitter, at Kenya Kardashian on Facebook. Search Kenya the Sweetest Thing on YouTube, and definitely tune into the candy shop each and every Monday. It's where real people are dealing with real issues and looking for realistic solutions. Oh, my God, GeorgiaME, you've been a blessing. We're going to end the show with the Ghetto Bell. It's a piece that GeorgiaME performed on the Monique Show, live on BET, and you guys are hearing it here right now, live in the candy shop. I love you guys. Enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you next Monday.
A few years ago, I had the pleasure of attending a groundbreaking show on Broadway called Deaf Poetry Jam. There was a sister there whose words totally captivated me. She's here tonight to perform the poem, Ghetto Bell. Please welcome the soulful and insightful Miss GeorgiaME. My man said I was a little too ghetto. Said my slumness I just couldn't let go. He liked me, but his requirements I hadn't met those. Then he realized my mind traveled from Vine City to Soweto. Blessed with little limitation, knowing my location had very little indication of my elevation. Understanding my relation to black, Greeks, and Haitians shows my worldly view. Though the times I have been outside the dirty South was less than two. I'm a ghetto belle. I'm a seeker of heaven, though I have dwelled with those of hell. Love to sleep with the constant busting of shells. Awakened by the blowing train on the rails. I will be successful, though the world expects for me to fail. I'm a Georgia peach, a Grady baby, a Southern belle. I was raised to say yes, ma'am. Respect my elders, I know how to eat at the table. I want you to open my door, help with my coat, take my bags if you're able. God bless me with a mind that is somewhat stable, so just because I'm from the hood doesn't mean you can fill my head with fable. Yeah, I say shout to everyone I know. Learn to pop that ass at the age of 9, not for cash, just for show. And just because I can break it all the way down don't mean I'm a pro. I chop up words when I talk a country ghetto flow. I speak proper English and speaking to the city. Oh. Make sure we understand the rolling of my dough. You see, the system is determined to keep a chick posed. Don't underestimate, I'm not the so-called average Negro. See, I know it hurts the ego to see I'm not what some believe me to be. A cracked out, unemployed criminal who drains society. Instead, before you stand the queen, one whose mind is serene, understands my lineage is supreme. When I step on the scene, I actually beam. Or set off a glow. Wearing around, don't think or believe, they know. That chick is the. Whether rocking a snapback, ponytail, afro puff, or natural twist. To give a good god dang if a hater tries to diss. You hate me cause you ain't me, my ass you can kiss. I try to keep a gentle nature, but if I get pissed, your face I'ma bust with my fist. To those that hit, I blow a kiss. See, I know through my wounds, all things come to exist. You know why, you know why, you know why. Hey, hey, cause I'm a ghetto bitch. Hey, hey, straight from that ATL. West side on, west high on, someone. I handle my business well. I try so I cannot fail. Oh, wanna keep me down, but I'm heaven bound. I'm from this dirty, so I don't mess around. I got so much game, they call me GeorgiaME. I bring the light so my folks can see that you are not weak, but oh so strong, letting everybody know what's going on. Shout to my people, baby, just hold on. If you're feeling me, come on and sing along, cause I'm a ghetto bitch.